What's going on, my people? This is your host, Blanche Eden with Black Trending News. This is episode 23 in season 3. Go ahead and check out seasons 1 and 2. They're good. Go watch them when you're done watching this one. Today, we're going to be talking about Azriel Clary and her, what I call scary and horrifying experience with R. Kelly. The stuff that I researched was so bad. I really wasn't expecting that much extreme. Like I wasn't expecting that much devastation and abuse. Let's get right into it. Again, there was a warning at the beginning of the video. It gets really descriptive. So it's probably going to be about a 20-minute episode. So have a seat. So recently, Azriel Clary, R. Kelly's former girlfriend, has claimed that she has broken off ties with the singer who is currently in prison. And from what it looks like, he's going to be there for a very, very long time. Recently reported, she's now 22 years old. She moved out of R. Kelly's condo at the Trump Towers, that's based in Chicago, in December of last year. She was reportedly staying with R. Kelly's other rumored live-in girlfriend, Jocelyn Savage. And to celebrate her newfound freedom, Clary posted a series of photos to her personal Instagram of a surprise reunion with her loved ones on January 14th. So I saw the photos. At first, I didn't take them very seriously. She did thank everybody that was supporting her. Very touching. But I just wasn't, I've never been sold on these two young ladies the way they lied for him. So, and of course, they're sick, they're abused. I get it. But I just never took it seriously until now. Now I'm taking it seriously after hearing her story. I just kept feeling like I hope that what she's saying is true and it's not a lie, because what she's saying is so bad that, if she's lying about this, she should be thrown under the jail with R. Kelly, because these allegations are so serious. They're so horrible and disgusting that I could not respect the person that made them up and lied. So all I could feel like is that a lot of this is made up for TV and for attention. But a big part of me feels like she's telling the truth, and I really can believe it. Let's get into it. Let's go over the details on what she breaks her silence. So she starts off by saying in her interview with The Sun, "I think that there's hundreds of victims out there. Robert has his live-in girlfriends. He has girlfriends in every city. He has flings in every city. There's usually 3 main cities in every state. So 3 times 50, you do the math." Basically she's saying it could be that many. So she's saying that R. Kelly gets around, and she dealt with him in this relationship for 5 years. I guess she has firsthand on how he handles other women, and still stayed with him regardless of the cheating, him having multiple girlfriends. She still stayed out of fear, and she was in love with him, I guess she claims. So this is what abuse looks like. Don't judge. This is what abuse looks like. For the most part, he blackmails everyone. He makes everyone do very degrading things, whether on film or writing it down. He makes them sign it. And I think a lot of women are ashamed or embarrassed to come out because of stuff like that, because it'll be incriminating them. There's so much stuff. He has letters of people saying that they've stolen from him. He has letters from people saying that they've been molested or touched by their parents or their brothers or a family member. He even has people on film molesting their younger nieces or younger brothers. And so I know a lot of women out there are too embarrassed, humiliated, and ashamed to come out because this man had that much power to control them, to make them molest their younger niece or to molest their younger brother. How do you even end up in a situation where you're molesting your younger niece or your younger brother? I mean, call me dumb, call me ignorant, but how do you even end up in that situation? If you're not contacting your family, does he say, okay, contact your family, get your niece to come over here, and then you're going to do it? And they do it because out of fear, he's going to beat them. Crazy. I can't imagine it, but But I'm sure there's a lot of things that I cannot imagine, right? You and I can't imagine a lot of things, but they still happen. So, I'm so disgusted by it. Like how people even end up in these kind of situations. Please watch your children. That is my theme. That is my theme this month. Watch your children. Here's a photograph of R. Kelly at their graduation. Okay? So a big part of me blames the parents. Period, point blank. She's a minor. She's at a concert. I want to say she was with her dad. That's the story I heard a while ago. Her dad took her to the concert. She ended up with a grown man's phone number, R. Kelly's phone number. R. Kelly is posing with them at graduation, and they're smiling ear to ear. Something's wrong with this picture? I think so. And then she's living with R. Kelly at 17. Please, somebody drag the parents. Why are the parents not getting any type of prosecution or anything? Like, I just don't get it. She goes on to say, personally, I had never done anything like that. I would be entirely too ashamed to come forward. Thankfully, I've never been in that situation, but I have seen it done to other women. Yes, I have. These are her allegations, and this is her testimony. She didn't swear in the Bible in the court, but she is claiming that these things are true. Let's keep going. Azriel continues to say that she was forced to have group sex, menage a trois, etc. She accuses him of brainwashing her, beating and sexually abusing her for years after meeting him in a concert he gave in Orlando, Florida in 2015. So she was approached by one of R. Kelly's handlers and given his number at the concert when she was 17. Right. So she was with her dad at this concert and they just walked past her dad and gave her the phone number. And her dad allowed her to take a phone number or have a phone number from R. Kelly. Did the dad not know? Did he step away? Did he go to the bathroom? Like, talk details. Like, what was going on? You know what I mean? She was an aspiring singer. What was she doing at an R. Kelly concert at 17? Listen, this whole thing stinks, but her allegations are truly sad. I'm going to try to stay focused on them. Because I just, I can't believe it. I can't. I can't fully believe this. So let's just keep going. She was an inspiring singer, probably still is. Okay, and she was excited to meet R. Kelly. He began flying her out to meet him in different cities at the weekends before she moved in with him in Chicago during her summer break from high school. Now your parents are involved. Now those motherfuckers are involved. And they're, honestly, how? How are they not doing any jail or anything for letting their 17-year-old move in with a grown man? How is that not against the law? And then they were complaining when they... All right, so she became one of R. Kelly's live-in girlfriends, but was given the title of being his number one girl, with the star promising to one day marry her and have children with her. Pfft, what a fucking joke. Really? Wow. That's why men like children. I went over this in my other episode, and I went over it in another episode. This is why these fucking perverts like children, because they don't judge them, they don't know any better, and they believe fucking anything. They believe any and everything. Children in a family, really? Yeah. So it says here, continues to say that the relationship soon turned into a devastating cycle of control, abuse, and manipulation, in which the star allegedly controlled every movement she made, every movement that the girlfriends made, even making them ask permission to eat or use the bathroom. Azriel says she was forced to have group sex with him and other men and women up to 5 times a day. If they didn't abide by the singer's twisted rules, he would beat them or get the women to beat each other up, she said. We were in Atlanta at the mansion and he rushed into the room and said he had a meeting and one of the girls didn't want to help clean up for that meeting. And so 2 of the other girlfriends began to verbally abuse the other girlfriend and they began to physically abuse her. They started punching her, slapping her, and then from there, Robert came into the room and he began to abuse her as well, verbally and physically slapping her, punching her, pushing her, throwing her around like a rag doll. That was my first red flag. You see, when you're 17, it takes all of that for you to actually get it. You got to really see some shit go down for you to wake up There were tons of red flags in front of her. So many. But being that young, you don't see them. You're colorblind, right? You're just blind, period. You're in love. She continues to say it wasn't long before she says Kelly took his violent tendencies out on her. One time, allegedly, savagely beating her with a size 12 shoe for hours while she was naked because he caught her talking to her high school friends on the phone. Sickeningly, the star then made one of the other girlfriends come in and bathe her, her body covered in cuts and bruises as he looked and watched on. She goes, I was talking to my friends from high school and he didn't like that I was talking to them. He thought I was keeping things from him, she said. I was just in communication with two of my girlfriends and he made me text them a very long lie, basically saying why I no longer wanted to be friends with them. And then he beat me. He abused me verbally and then he beat me physically. Then he beat me with a shoe, a size 12 Nike Air Force One shoe. I don't know why she's describing the shoe, probably just to give you a description of what it looks like and how huge it is. That's a big-ass sneaker, and a size 12 is a big-ass shoe. So I'm hoping that she's not getting paid like some... I just hope that that's not what this is, and she is just describing the type of shoe it is. She could have said a large shoe, but we all know how this shit goes, okay? They get paid to say certain things on fucking air. Let's keep it moving. And he beat me all over. It felt like hours, and I was covered in welts all the way from my neck down. He had Juice, which was another girlfriend, come in there. He already made me strip naked, but he made her run me a bath, tub of warm water, and he made her bathe me. Afterwards, he came in there, and he apologized and sobbed and cried, and he did everything to try and make me feel like he was so sincere and so sorry. He is sorry. He's a sorry. He is sorry. He is sorry. The women say they were forced to have sex with R. Kelly or group sex with him and other men and women 3 to 5 times a day. Sometimes they would be made to take part in degrading sexual acts, and he is accused of urinating and defecating on women. If they didn't perform well, quote, perform well, or satisfy his twisted desires, they would be punished. Robert had a high sex drive, so usually 3 to 5 times a day was normal for him. This is fucking disgusting. I'm going to really try not to throw up while I'm getting through this shit. Okay? She goes on to say it was always just something that happened. And if you did not want to participate, if you embarrassed him in front of other women, or even just did not perform well, he would tell you to leave or wait in the restroom with the water on until he was finished. Oh my goodness. And this man has children. This man is a father and he was a husband. And he's doing stuff like this. It's really, I'm not saying that a man without children would less likely to do this. Of course not. Or more likely to do this. But you would think that if you're a father and you have children, you would just have that much more common sense not to be a disgusting fucking pig. You know, like you would just have that much more decency because you have children. She goes on to say, and the majority of the time after he would tell you to turn the TV up and he'd go in the bathroom and beat the women that did not do what he wanted. No one was ever vocal because whether you were vocal or not, he would still beat you. And then on top of that, he would stop having sex with you. Which I've seen with other girls. I guess he continued to have sex with her. Just give me a minute. This is so horrible. Let me start over because I don't think y'all heard. Let me say this for the people in the back. And then on top of that, he would stop having sex with you. He would stop having sex with them. What? So, I mean, you know, it's a catch-22. I understand why she's bringing this up in an interview, but you were being, quote, forced to have sex and raped and abused, but now you're saying that he wouldn't have sex with you, and is that a problem? I'm confused. Now, you see that shit, it fucks with your mind because it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Continues to say here, She's seen this with other girls. She's not referring to herself. There have been times where women have gone months to years with no sex with Robert. Well, godly, like, what the fuck, right? Like, who, like, really? Wouldn't you try to get out of there? And he won't have sex with them or please them because they are not pleasing him or doing what he wants. This is so disgusting. That is, out of all that I've read in her interview, that was the most disgusting. I'm still trying to calculate how that even ended up in the interview. There's just some sick psychological bullshit going on. Like, and he wouldn't have sex with them or please them? And he wouldn't have sex with them or please them? What kind of fucking nasty ass shit is this going on here? She says, but within those months or years, although he is not personally intimate with the girl, he will still make them participate and do things to other women and make them watch him do other things to women to break them down. So when he was done with the pussy, didn't want to fucking know more, he still found a reason to have it around. Yeah. He used them as bodyguards. It looks like pimps or whatever. Okay. And she says, and those are the games he plays. I don't think any women ever wanted to sleep with the other. It was just something we all became immune to please him. So he made them participate in homosexual sex, basically. It's fucking disgusting. Disgusting. Children. It was easier pleasing him than getting beat every other day, and everyone learned that very quickly, she says. Azriel also said she witnessed R. Kelly sending his girlfriends out to recruit other young women for sex. She says, I've seen him ask women to go approach other girls for him and give them his number, like at the mall and things like that. It could be anywhere, really. You could be out eating at a park in the middle of driving. If he sees someone that he likes, he'll definitely send a girl that he feels confident in doing those type of things for him. So now Azriel gets into a day with R. Kelly, a typical day with R. Kelly. She says here that they usually wake up around 4 p.m. And every aspect of their lives was controlled, from what they wore to what they were allowed to eat. Bizarrely, the star would do the same things every day at the same time, dragging the women along with him in his Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, another brand name drop. Okay? I'm moving on. Okay? That's all I gotta say. Pay attention to these things, okay? Because somebody's getting paid to drop all these names. This is advertising. Moving on. The Mercedes was curtained so people could not see in or out of it. Definitely, you could not do anything without him knowing, she said. You have to ask him if you could go to the restroom. You would have to knock anytime he entered it or left a room. He controlled you, what you wore. Anything that was tight, hugging, revealing wasn't allowed. Every night, everyone had to take places, which meant to go to your room. I would sleep with Robert every night. Ugh. I mean, basically, they were concubines, and he was a freaking. He's a polygamist. He is a polygamist, basically. That's what this is. And I did check out my story on that polygamy as well. I'll put the link in the bottom. Okay? Oh my goodness. Terrible. So after they get up at 4 o'clock, he has a meeting at 4, probably with the girls or at the round table. She goes, we'll usually go out around 6 o'clock, and usually from there we go get food at Portillo's or anywhere in Chicago. Another name drop, another brand name drop. Please be paying attention to this. You can just say a restaurant, but you drop in names because you're getting paid. Moving along. Then from there, he'll go to the cigar bar, and we'll go back to the Trump where he had an apartment or his studio, and we'll just stay there. Or if he's in a meeting, then we'll stay in his, name dropping again, Sprinter while he was at that meeting. And usually that can be anywhere from 2 hours to 5 hours that we're sitting in the Sprinter. Oh, boo-hoo. You're sitting in a car for 2 hours, 4 hours. Nobody's crying about that. Okay? I mean, let me keep going. It is a touching story, but certain things just really raise red flags for me. She goes, once he usually goes straight into basketball around 11 or 12 at night and plays basketball all the way until 3 in the morning, they eat again. They'll go somewhere late at night, usually White Castle or McDonald's, and get some food. And then from there, they go back to the studio, and he would just record music all the way up until like 7 or 8 in the morning. Then we would watch a movie and go to sleep and do it all over again. It was like that for 5 years. This is where it really gets disturbing. So even when R. Kelly was jailed in July of 2019, he still controlled every aspect of their life, making her come in and wave to him while he was at jail at the same time every day. By the time he was jailed, the only remaining women in his entourage were Azriel and Jocelyn Savage, who Azriel says remains loyal to R. Kelly even today. Handlers would make sure the women still followed all of his rules. MCC is on the left side of the street, and there's a train that runs straight in front of the MCC in Chicago. Dropping another name. Keep going here. She says, so every day he would make us go up there and stand up there and wave to him at 4 o'clock through the window of the jail. Fucking kidding me. You know what? It did everybody a fucking favor for him to be in jail. But they're probably so twisted up in the head that they missed him, because they're just so warped and their mind is so jacked up from his treatment. She says every day, whether it's snowing, raining, storming, he did not care. Just go up there and wave to him every day at 4 o'clock. She says she was the only one that he wanted to visit him in jail. And so for those 4 or 5 months, she was the only one visiting him, which was hard on Jocelyn, and it was still a way of manipulation by keeping her angry at me because I'm the only one that could see him. Really? You want to see him. You don't want to leave. You don't want to leave. You want to see him. He's raping you, making you have sex with other women, with other men, forcibly 4 times a day, as you claim. It's so awful. He's beating you with shoes, and you want to see him. You want to see him. Now, call me crazy, but even a child, I would think that even a child that's getting treatment like this, maybe I'm speaking like a toddler, 6-year-old, 7, even a child that young, I think has enough sense to not want to see somebody who's doing that to them. Who's not, yes, children get abused by their parents and they still love their parents, but I don't know about racing and going love them. Oh, mommy, I love you to see you. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, man. This is all fucking messed up. I don't even know how to think about this. You let me know in the comment section. Yeah, I still have a little more to go here. She says, I know that he knows that he's done something wrong, and truthfully, I feel like because he's 53, he just knows that he has too much to lose now, and that he has to fight because he has no choice. He's been doing it for so long. He's been denying this for so long. He really has no choice but to continue to fight. Do you mean lie? I think she means lie. Now, this is not a fight. This is not a fight. This is a lie, okay? Azriel says one of the most heartbreaking aspects of her 5-year-old ordeal was being banned from talking about her family. Aside from a few rare phone calls, she had no contact with her parents for the whole 5 years she was with R. Kelly. Says here that the dad fought tirelessly to rescue her, even in infiltrating R. Kelly's inner circle and traveling across the U.S. just to see a glimpse of his daughter or try to find out what was going on. Is this the same dad that took her to the concert? Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong about this. But I believe it was, you don't just go to an R. Kelly concert at 17 by yourself. So somebody who was older was with her. And I want to say it was her father. Correct me if I'm wrong. But is this the man that let her, a child, a minor, go live with a grown man who, I note, has had ordealings like this? Aaliyah. Everybody under the freaking sun knows about the story of Aaliyah. Everybody does. If you're in an R. Kelly concert, you know about the story of Aaliyah. And here you are letting your 17-year-old go there, okay? For the summer, by herself. Are you fucking crazy? Yeah. And now you're looking for her tirelessly. Whatever. She says that she lied on Gayle King and that she couldn't see her family. You know, I'm done. She said she just loved him and she loved hard. That's why she lied. She wants to erase every memory. I'm sure you do. Go ahead and leave a comment section. A comment in the comment section. Share this video, like, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can know every time I put out a video. I thank you so much for listening. Please go watch seasons 1 and 2 and have a great night.